Circle Rants.
Mark out with us! Mr. Awesome R.C. Gade here, and welcome to another fun edition of the Squared Circle Rants podcast. And actually, I have to update my tagline. Now, I am, as always, Mr. Awesome, but I have a new nickname or a tagline or I don't know, I'm too dumb to think of another way to say it. But a good friend of mine, my cousin Derek, came up with a new tagline, and of course I loved it so much it's on all my social medias, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and that is, I am a wrestling loving, beer drinking, good time having, life of the party stud. Oh yeah. I think that's going to stick. I don't care what you think. I think it's going to stick. But I mean, of course, I care what you guys think, especially when it pertains to this podcast. Mostly if you're into it, but if you don't like it, I get it. But hey, put a down vote, or put in the comments how much you don't like me, how much you don't like the show. Because heck, I'd read it. I might even read it here on this podcast, depending how ridiculous it is. But anyway, enough of that. My new nickname, what people think of me. I'm excited. I am so freaking excited for AEW Revolution coming up this Sunday. Oh, and I just can't hide it. I know, I went there. But last night, watching AEW Dynamite, it got me so pumped for this event. Not so much for the main event. I mean, I'm still excited, but there's that one match. And I think you know what match I'm talking about. I'll get to that in a minute, but let's go through the AEW Revolution match card. And pretty much I'm going to go from meh to yes, please. So let's start with meh. We have the AHFO, the Andrade Idolo house, or I forgot even what it stood for, but essentially it's Andrade and Hardy's, whatever. It's their stable that's, who cares? It's just gone downhill. But apparently we're going to have a match with Andrade, Isaiah Cassidy, and Matt Hardy versus Darby Allin, Sammy Guevara, and Sting in a tornado tag match. Now, hey, Darby's there, Sammy's there, Sting's there. I used to really like Andrade. He's Isaiah's good. He's still young, little green. Hardy, he can, how do you say it? He can sell most anything except for this faction. But a lot of great wrestlers in there. Should be an okay match, but I'm not as excited. To me, this is something that should just be, God, excuse me, should either just be on Dark, Elevation, heck, even maybe Rampage. I don't get a huge, moment coming out of this for pay-per-view. I mean, maybe even put it on the pre-show. That's where it belongs. I'm going to go ahead and predict Darby, Sammy, and Sting get it. Because, you want the baby faces to win. It might work better because then it'll maybe add some tension between. God, you would think I'm drinking right now. I'm sorry. but it might start some conflict between Andrade and Matt Hardy. And then Matt pushes away from it. Please push away from it. And going from meh to, I guess, another meh. Maybe I should have started with this one because I'm least excited for. I mean, this has to be the least excited for any of the matches on the card. We have AEW TBS Championship. Shane. God dang it. I swear. I'm only drinking water. That's it. This isn't vodka. I'm more of a whiskey guy. Anywho, we have Jade Cargill, the champion, versus Ty Conte. Green versus green. I mean, Ty technically has been in the business longer than Jade. Jade, you could really see how green she is. Ty Conte, though with more experience, still has a lot of green to her. I just don't get excited seeing either of them wrestle. Jade Cargill, of course, in great shape. She's still learning how to do babyface, heel. You know, you can really see it. She's getting there, but it's taken a while. Personally, not someone I would give a championship to, but I'm not Tony Khan. So really with this one, I'd go with Jade. I see them keeping the title on her. I mean, it could go to Ty Conti. I don't think anyone would really care unless you're a huge fan. And hey, I'm not trying to, just fully beat down on her. She's talented, but she's got a lot of work to do. A lot of the storylines they've put her in just really haven't made sense or haven't had those big build-ups. So yeah, Jade Cargill for that one. Meh. Don't really care all too much. I mean, again, that should be something dark, Elevation, Rampage, not on a pay-per-view, but they're trying to push the TBS championship, and I get it. I just think it should have went to someone better. And then we go to, let's talk about the AEW Tag Team Championships. Jurassic Express defend their titles against Red Dragon and the Young Bucks in a three-way. Now, Jurassic Express, how do I put this? They're okay. Like, Jungle Boy looks great. He needs a lot of work on promo. Freaking Luchasaurus. I mean, he's big, he's muscular, but he needs to stop with the lucha stuff. He's either not good at it or slow, and there's been many reports of him doing things the wrong way or hurting people. I mean, not really bad, well, except if you count Rey Fenix. Red Dragon, love to see them in there. The Young Bucks, I don't know, I like them. I'm not a fan of this new attitude they have. It just doesn't click. Click. The super click. Anyway. I'd really like Red Dragon to get it, but they just got into the company. Separate times, of course. But I'm sure this is going to add... Something's going to happen that's going to add more conflict between Red Dragon and the Young Bucks, which I'm kind of digging. Like on Dynamite last night, go back to last week, there was a little conflict, and then Red Dragon helped them to win the second battle royal. I forgot what they called it. See, we're friends, but something tells me they're setting up for something where Red Dragon is going to, turn in a way, be more conflict. Adam Cole has to pick a side, that kind of thing. It should be a good match. I mean, there's a lot of high flyers in this match, but there's a lot of technical wrestlers in here. Um, but I see Jurassic Express retaining their titles. It would be huge if Red Dragon won. I mean, I wouldn't be upset. I just don't see it happening. Young Bucks, why? I mean, they've had the titles. To me, Jurassic Express, Red Dragon have more popularity than the Young Bucks right now. I mean, it could go either way, but I'm going to go with JE. They'll probably pick him back up. And it should be a good match, I'm not going to lie. There's going to be a lot of, ooh, ah, what? Say what? Oh. And talk about a lot of stuff that's going to be going on. We have the Face of the Revolution ladder match. This should be really good. I mean, way better than the tag team matches. Of course, way better than the TBS championship match. But so far, we have Keith Lee, Orange versus Orange Cassidy versus Powerhouse Hobbs, Powerhouse, versus Ricky Starks versus Wardlow. Love Wardlow. Love what they're doing. They just need to pull the trigger soon. You know what I'm talking about. I might go into more detail later. Anywho, but tomorrow we're going to get the last contestant confirmed. That is Christian Cage or Ethan Page. It's happened. Cage versus Page. Page versus... Anyway. That's kind of tough to see who's going to win between Ethan and Christian. Ethan hasn't had a lot of, wrestling TV time. He's been on TV constantly. I'm sure he's been on Dark. I might have to go back to watching that again. But I could really see Christian Cage being in there. And hey, if Cage gets in there, he knows what he's doing. We all know Christian knows what he's doing when it comes to ladder matches. But this should be fun. Interesting that we have, big guys like Keith Lee, Powerhouse, and Wardlow. But then, of course, they even it out with the, I guess you could say, smaller people, the high flyers that can do more. Hard to pick who's going to win this one. This is a tough one, and I'm not going to make a prediction because I can see it going multiple ways. Like Keith Lee, if that'd be a huge push for him, even though he's had one match in the company so far. Orange Cassidy, because they love pushing him. I'm a little over it. I mean, it's still a little entertaining, but it just seems so one-dimensional now, and it's like, okay, Hobbs, that'd be a great push for him. We need to see him in the ring more. Ricky Starks, I could see it going that way. I mean, either of those two for Team Taz, what up? Christian or Ethan Page, no matter who gets to be in the match. I don't know, Ethan maybe, if he was in the match. But I'm kind of done with the Men of the Hour or whatever they call themselves, or Men of the Year. I think it's just ran its course and definitely get that one guy off camera. But, actually, no, wait. I can pick someone. Wardlow. That's my pick. Further the conflict between him and MJF. Even though MJF said he could keep the title, what if he wins and MJF just screws him? Just screws him more. Adds more to the story. Now, this is a story that's been going on way too long. So that's why I say they need to kind of pull the trigger on it. But it's now progressing more. Wardlow's hatred for the Pinnacle, for MJF. So yeah, I kind of want to see, above everyone else, Wardlow to get it. just so we could keep going with that. But like I said, it'll still be entertaining. And now on to the rest of the card here, which I am excited. Oh, so excited. Let's start with Jericho versus Eddie Kingston. Man. Now this... Well, no, they started this storyline a little bit ago, and it's been good. And especially Eddie. Oh, those promos. Oh, so good. And yes, Chris, sorry to forget about you. You do great promos. This is going to be a clash of styles. Eddie is the realest wrestler you've ever seen. I mean, he said, he does promos, he says stuff on the mic, but it seems more like a shoot than scripted. I mean, it could be, but he comes across so real. I love Eddie. Jericho, I haven't been impressed with him for a little bit now, but it looks like he's lost some weight. I'm not saying weight should have anything to do with it, but come on. Jericho hasn't been giving those big matches. I mean, the tag match he had last, that was pretty good. But before that, he was a little overweight, couldn't move as fast as he normally does. I mean, that's also age too. He's been in the business for years. We love you, Chris, but I'm glad that he's trimmed down. He's looked like he's moving better, so this should be a good match, but I got to go with Eddie Kingston. Can't wait to see it. Let's continue with this. Can't wait to see Jon Moxley versus Bryan Danielson. This has been interesting. Now, when they first kind of teased this match, I mean, we all figured, or most of us did, that they would just go right into, all right, Bryan Danielson wants to beat up Moxley. Moxley's going to take on anyone. But they put a little twist. A little bit of a twist, and it's, just been working perfectly. Where Danielson, he wants to team up with him. He wants to be, hey man, we can control this whole thing. And Moxley going, hey, I don't team with anyone unless I bleed with them. And I like that. But now and they did it so good on Dynamite last night. Bryan's, anger. He's really good at playing that heel that doesn't lose his cool, even though he's been extra violent lately. But here it's almost, and he hasn't said it outright, but it's almost out that he's a little bit offended that John just didn't team right up with him, or maybe he's just getting ready for this match. And actually, before I say my prediction, that's what I'm loving about AEW. You're getting great storylines. You're getting great matches. You're getting excited for these matches. And now yes, I bag on AEW, but I have good reason to. They do a lot of stupid shit. WWE does a lot of stupid shit. But when they do something good, I'm excited for this match. Another clash of styles. Moxley, more of a brawler. Danielson, submission, technique. It's going to be good. And also, it makes you wonder what's going to happen after the match, no matter who wins or loses. I want to see Moxley win, but I also want to know what he's going to say if he does afterwards. Is he going to take Bryan up on his offer? We don't know, but I'm so freaking excited. And I keep losing my voice. My apologies. I don't have to be sorry for nothing. Actually, initially, I wasn't excited for this next matchup. But we have AEW Women's World Championship, Dr. Britt Baker, the doctor will see you now, DMD, can't forget that, the champion, defending her title against Thunder Rosa. Oh, I love Thunder Rosa. Now this, and you got to admit, it had a weird build to it. I didn't like. Well, I liked how they put Mercedes as kind of that mercenary in a way to go after Thunder Rosa, but the way they did it just made me less excited. And I'll tell you why. It was so Mercedes Martinez attacked Thunder Rosa. Thunder Rosa, of course, is upset. I want to face you. She's mad. And then Mercedes Martinez, this happened, weeks ago. You want to go to war? I'll show you. Wait, hold up. I get the intensity, but why are you upset? You attacked her and you're upset that she wants revenge? It just didn't make any sense. But we know Britt Baker and Thunder Rosa can put on one hell of a show. I wish they would showcase more females to add more challenges to, when it comes time to, like Thunder Rosa, I can see why they threw her in there. Not just because there's not a lot of females, but also her and Britt Baker can go. Thunder Rosa is good. Well, they both are good. But I think I got to go with Britt Baker. I mean, she's got her two stooges. Thunder Rosa might have help from Mercedes Martinez, but I mean, who knows? I'd be happy if Thunder Rosa got it. Would add something new to the women's division, but you can tell they're really pushing Britt Baker. And I'm not upset about it. She's good. Great heel. Weird segments. Not going to lie. Now, there's 2 matches left to talk about. And you would think I would go or talk about at the end the AEW World Championship match. But the other match on the card has this beat in excitement. But I'm still excited for it. As you can tell if you follow the Squared Circle Rants Facebook page. All the memes I've posted and stuff like that. But yes, we have Hangman Adam Page versus Adam Cole. This was kind of put together quickly. And then they were doing it. It felt like they should have built it before Adam Cole challenged. But instead he challenged and then they kind of just built off of that. And on Dynamite, it did give you more reason to be invested in it. I'm still excited. I still want to see it. I love Adam Cole, baby. Love Hangman Adam Page. Cowboy shit. Hell yeah. But yeah, Dynamite did a lot to sell this pay-per-view, to sell the matches. And this is going to be good. But yeah, last night when you know what happened. They tied up Hangman, beat up his friends. Oh, and that just lasting image. Him tied up, tired, the Undisputed Era. Oh, I'm sorry. Not Undisputed. But you know what I mean. There they are, just standing there, just ready. And oh, I cannot wait to see it. I want Hangman, and he's my pick, because he's still a new champion. I want Hangman, but I would not be disappointed if Adam Cole got it. It would be all right. I just feel they should have built on this storyline a little more. But it just seemed like it still looked good, but it seemed like they quickly, like, okay, let's wrap this up before the pay-per-view. I mean, who knows? They could do more on Rampage, which is highly doubtful, within an hour. But yeah, so Hangman Page for the win. But now, to the match that I cannot wait to see. That I'm sure you cannot wait to see. and this has been brewing, building with great promos, shenanigans, but not too goofy. I'm not talking Orange Cassidy shenanigans. What I'm talking about is CM Punk versus MJF in a dog collar match. I was already excited to see this. They've done so perfectly building this. But after last night, and I put it on Facebook, that is how you build to a pay-per-view. That is how you sell a pay-per-view. That is how you sell a storyline like CM Punk versus MJF. Not only are they great at what they do in the ring, but what they do on the mic. Like last week, we all knew MJF was full of shit. But the way he presented that promo, there was that little sliver of doubt. Is he telling the truth? Is it like in Punk sold it more? He didn't have a microphone. He just walked in like, is it real? You could hear him. Is this true? MJF leaves. And of course, this week, CM Punk puts on another great promo. Oddly enough, MJF comes out when asked and hugs Punk. Which made you go, huh? But, sure enough, kicks Punk right in the balls, beats the hell out of him, makes him bloody, further showing, and then brings out the Pinnacle to help. Wardlow still selling. He doesn't want to be there. Oh, I cannot wait to see this match. I want Punk to win. They've really got to me, like, so excited. Oh, Punk, come on. I mean, it's classic in a way. You want the babyface to beat the shit out of the heel that is MJF. But, I can just see it. MJF winning, going back to the cocky heel he is, even though now he's added this extra sadistic layer, and I love it. I'm going for Punk. Love you, Punk. But man, what a match. I just can't wait to watch it. And it's this Sunday. I won't be live. But I can't wait to see it. Tell me what you think in the comments below. Who are you going for in the matches of AEW Revolution? Are you as excited as I am? Are you not excited? Let me know in the comments below, guys. All right, let's move on from predictions. I can say words. To headlines. And as usual, I'll save the best for last. But since I ended the predictions and what I'm excited for at AEW Revolution on CM Punk and MJF, I just thought this was funny. MJF on WWE's potential interest says, these Fox execs, they're thirsty for daddy. Just fits his character perfectly. If you can call it a character, like Eddie Kingston, and this is about the only similarity they have, you can't tell whether it's a work or a shoot, and I love it. You know, behind the scenes, you might think, oh, MJF's a real good guy, probably. His parents love him in real life. Well, I'm sure his mom does. But he sells it so well. In and out of the ring. Like, I've seen interviews where he is just being a dick. And it makes you laugh. And you kind of in a way, root for him. But yeah, so this comes from WrestleZone. Uh, Let me get to the juicy part. But he was on an appearance, or made an appearance, excuse me, on iHeartRadio's Wrestling with Freddie. Never heard of it, but I'll have to look it up. But he said, there's talks of a bidding war, and those Fox execs, so I'm repeating myself, they're thirsty for daddy. I mean, they want a piece of me bad, and you know, I'm not going to sit here and pretend I'm not interested. I like money. Shocker. I think if there's one thing I love more than gold, it's green. And I'm going to go wherever I'm offered the most. By the time I turn 35, though, I'm probably going to be well and done with wrestling. I'll probably have achieved everything that I possibly can in the pro wrestling genre. And by that time, I'd imagine you're going to be seeing me on billboards for movies and TV shows. Dude, he sells it so well. Like, bravo. One of the best heels out there. Even though I want to see him get his ass kicked, I'm enjoying what he does on and in and out of the squared circle. So this is actually, a lot of these reports are from WrestleZone. Here's another. EC3's Control Your Narrative announces TV deal with Pro Wrestling TV. And I'm a little excited for this. Actually put it this way. I got really pumped when I saw the vignettes, I guess you would call them, on YouTube for Buddy Matthews, Braun Strowman, Adam Shearer, excuse me, that's his real name, EC3, but then I noticed that the company themselves is more of a cinematic wrestling, which I'm not a huge fan of. Like, Matt Hardy started it. There were some cool things, some bad things, and of course WWE tried to pick up on that success and didn't really work out. But I'm happy for EC3 and Adam Shearer and the wrestlers who are going to go with them, because hey, here's another alternative, and that's great. When there's more alternatives that we all can have access to in professional wrestling, that's a bonus. But what was the date here? I won't go through everything they taught. Oh, I thought they had a date. Pro Wrestling. Pro Wrestling TV is going to come out at some point this month or the next. Really interesting to note, though, is at the end of this article, it says, Control Your Narrative will feature such wrestling stars as EC3, Adam Shearer, Killer Cross. Not too shocked on those because I saw Cross has been with them. But more shockingly, Austin Aries. How's that going to go? I don't know. He's well known for a guy who just likes to burn a lot of bridges. At least from what I've heard. If you have positive stories, let me know in the comments below or on the Squared Circle Rants Facebook page. But next up, actually I got ahead of myself here. Well, actually, we'll just slam these two together. So by this time, it's already happened. Vince McMahon was on the Pat McAfee show. And I haven't watched it yet, but I was shocked. That alone shocked me. Vince doing an interview, and a lot of people said, it's been 20 years since he did a sit-down interview. And I'm like, no, I'm pretty sure he was on Broken Skull with Steve Austin. But maybe they mean outside of the company. And they're saying that, but, that was shocking alone. Okay, he's going to do a podcast interview or a TV interview that you can see on YouTube. That is shocking. And then they added this could, and which makes me want to go watch it, how they set it up, that Vince McMahon could be in the ring at WrestleMania. Well, could be. They're saying he is going to be. I'll again have to watch that to see how they set it up. But do we really want to see it? I mean, the sit downs with uh, what's his name, Austin Theory, have just been weird and creepy. Like, you feel bad for Vince. I mean, dude's what, 76, 70 something years old. I mean, he is a tough SOB. We all know this about Vince. But, there's a part of you that's concerned, whether you like him or not. Because, come on, who wants to see a 70-year-old in the ring get their ass kicked? Even though he'd probably have stuff up his sleeve. But I could see him putting on a good show. I mean, booking, writing, or creative, I should say, as of late has been really bad in WWE. But I can still see Vince, pushing through to put on a good moment. I'm just not too terribly excited about it. And the rumor mill, that he'll be in there with Pat McAfee. Love Pat. He's only had 2 matches and he's done a great job. No, I'm not saying put him in as a full-time wrestler, but I can see him putting on a good show with Vince McMahon, or if Vince gets Austin Theories to do his bidding. I can see that working out too. I'm just not too sure or excited to see Vince back in the ring. I'm not excited to see him on Raw every week, even though it hasn't been every week. Then again, I do fast forward a lot through Raw nowadays. But let's move on to the last article here I got saved. For weeks, we've been hearing Tony Khan, I have a huge announcement. Of course, speculations, rumors abound. What's it gonna be? And of course, and I think I shared something that's, what's his name? Oh yeah, Dave. Hi, Dave. Dave Meltzer had his rumors. Well, it seems Dave was right, because Tony Khan, the big announcement, has acquired Ring of Honor and everything Ring of Honor and its video library, as it says here on WrestleZone. And that's big. Like, I am shook. I'm shocked. Shocked. Anyway, I'm surprised, perplexed, but also excited. We were all wondering what's the future holds for Ring of Honor. I was happy that it's coming back in April. What are they going to do? Well, now they have Tony Khan money. Oh. And the rumor, do you hear that? Do you hear the rumor? The rumor is that they're going to make Ring of Honor kind of the developmental of AEW. And I can't argue with that. That would actually be good. It's something that AEW needs. Rather than, we have all these people. Let's shove them on Dark. Let's shove them on Elevation. Okay, we'll put these on Rampage. These on Dynamite. Have something where they could get their leggings, learn stuff. I'll just come out and say it. Essentially, he wants to make Ring of Honor NXT. And I'm not upset with that. I could see that working. Everything's still up in the air. We don't know what's going to happen, but I like that idea. Should be good. Are you guys just as excited? Let me know. Now, before I get off of here, I just have one more question for you, for at least this podcast. I have many questions. Some don't even deal with wrestling, but we'll get to that later. Another person set to return, or rumored to return for WrestleMania, is Stone Cold Steve Austin. And if these rumors are true, they're setting up for him and Kevin Owens, who Kevin, as of late, has been harshly dissing Texas. Who's from there? I mean, it should be a good show. I'm surprised. Well, for one, that Austin would be back. You know, he has a lot of ailments, but he's also said himself he wouldn't come back unless it, I'm not quoting him here, but unless it had a good storyline, a good reason. Like, he doesn't want to just do a one and done. He wants build, and I love that about Austin. Kevin Owens would be a wonderful opponent for him. Of course, you're thinking, oh, the stun off. It could be a stun off. But no, before I leave you, I'm sorry, I must go. Before I leave you, and as much as we all love Kevin Owens, is there right now any other wrestlers on the WWE roster that you can see having a good match with Stone Cold Steve Austin? Let me know in the comments below. Yes, please like, share, subscribe. Really helps me out. I think that's how you get your name out there. Oh, and you have to be entertaining. I'll work on that too. But yes, like, share, subscribe. I am Mr. Awesome, RC Gade, or the, I said the whole other spiel later, Mr. Awesome, RC Gade. Thank you for marking out with me. Squared Circle Rants. Mark out with us!